Hey guys, it's your BlueLine group with your BlueLine Wife's Rollcall podcast. I'm Shannon Gilbert with Emerge Real Estate.
I'm Jamie Wright with Wright Dabo Insurance.
And I'm Amy Lewis with Priority Mortgage.
We are coming to you live from LEPD Firearm and Range on Bethel Road, right here in Columbus, Ohio.
For those of you that are not familiar with who we are a dedicated team of law enforcement families specializing in real estate, financial, and insurance services, favorite about creating ongoing professional relationships and giving back to our first responder families.
So excited that we've finished our first and our second podcast. They're under wraps. We're excited to continue to talk about our beat, the lives that we live as the spouses. So please continue to send in your questions, any topics that you'd like to talk about. We would love to do a whole show just dedicated all to your questions, your concerns, topics that you are interested in as the spouses of first responders.
Yes, and that's coming soon because we have tons of viewers sending in questions.
Good.
Yeah.
So keep bringing them in, though.
Yes. Okay, ladies, before we get started, if we could have a moment of silence for Deputy Brewer, who was shot and killed in the line of duty this past Saturday in Claremont County, Ohio. Our prayers and thoughts goes out to his family.
Absolutely.
Okay, you guys ready for today's topic?
Yeah.
The works of law enforcement officers, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So as you guys know, on our Facebook and our Twitter pages, we did have some response, kind of almost the same thing, where they commented stating that their spouses will not sit with their back to the door.
Oh, yeah. That's the biggest one.
That's
Yes.
the biggest one.
However, I have to add, have you guys ever been at a restaurant and you're sitting with your spouse? Of course, your back's to the door.
Uh-huh.
They have to have a view, say, like a clear, view of the front door. So every time somebody comes in the front door, they're looking. Every time somebody goes to the bathroom or gets up to put their coat on, I'm always like, hey, right here. Yo, did you hear what I just, got done telling you? I just got done telling you a story. He's like, yeah, I'm paying attention. I mean, he's always so focused on his surroundings at all times.
Yeah, happens multiple times. Every time we go somewhere, I'm talking to him and he's looking.
Yes. I mean, I get it, obviously with, for such hatred, just by putting on the uniform every day, they have to definitely be aware of their surroundings. But it does kind of get a little aggravating being a wife because you're just like, hey,
Well, you feel like they're not paying attention to you.
Oh, he doesn't. And trust me, he doesn't.
Yeah.
I test him. I'm like, so what I just got done saying?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, well, and he always tells me like the last 5 words I just got done saying.
So did you like that birthday present idea?
Yeah. So I know we definitely all can relate to that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
That's a really big one.
Yeah. Do you guys have any that?
Yeah. So this was my favorite one, and I have a list of them here, obviously. But so we were in Jamaica, and we're in Jamaica, and you know how you get on those little shuttles to go to and from your transports or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and as it goes to any time that you meet somebody and what do you do? So we're in the
Wait a minute,
transport.
does he tell them what they do? What he does?
That's the thing.
Everybody, it's like a networking thing. You always say, hi, I'm so-and-so, this is what I do, what do you do?
I'm a trash guy.
Yeah, yes. We continually hear some really creative stories from my husband of things that he makes up about what he does and where he works and so forth.
So let me finish the Jamaica story. So this is so funny. So we're in the transport on the way to the airport. So we're just leaving vacation, and it's just one other couple there in the transport. And the guy's like, oh, where are you from? I'm like, oh, we're from Ohio, because everybody is always from Ohio. Anytime they're on vacation in Jamaica or wherever. So the guy goes, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, well, I'm an insurance agent. And then, so of course, my husband and I look at each other. Okay, you gonna tell him? And he's like, oh, I'm a PO. And he's like, yep, I knew it. The haircut.
Yeah.
I'm a PO too. And we were like, ooh. Because you never really know what kind of response you're gonna get. But that brings up a funny quirk, right? The haircut.
Yes, the haircut.
And he shaves his face every day.
Every single day. You know what? My husband actually shaved his face twice the other day. I said,
Really?
"What are you doing?" He just shaved an hour ago. Well, because by the time, blah, blah, even goes into the story. So he shaved twice in one evening, and I thought, oh, this is crazy. But the haircut, funny, is
It's
my
either
number one.
PO or
Oh, is it really?
It was my number one.
enforcement.
Oh,
but-
see, that's my number one funny too.
Yeah. So do you have another one then, Amy, if that was your number one? Or?
Well, I have a whole list.
Yeah.
But the haircut thing is the number one. Another thing that I had on my list is every time they're on TV, no matter who they are or where they are, with my husband, you know, if you're wearing the white shirt and the hat, I saw your husband on TV. I'm getting texts, I'm getting phone calls. I'm like, no, I don't think that's him. I don't think he's in that area today. Yes, it is. I can tell by his hair.
I saw him on the radio.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the radio, the TV.
So let me ask you a question, talking about the hat. Do you think it looks like the good fellow, the ice cream hat?
Oh,
Yeah,
good humor.
Yeah, the good humor.
The ice cream
The
man.
ice cream man, the hat. Does it? You don't never really thought it looked like that.
No, I just, the other day I was telling my husband, I was like, I'm thinking about you and your police toboggan.
Oh, yes. Those are lovely too.
I like the one too that like the Uncle Eddie. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
I
the Russian,
don't know.
the Russian hats with all the fur.
I'm not
yeah.
right. I'm not right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to wear it just so you can have a smell on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's totally on to you, girl.
Well-
Totally on to you.
It's good when you're shoveling driveway at 20 below.
Well.
Those hats. Even though they cover your eyes. But they're good for that. But yes, the haircut was my number one, but also because I have to cut his hair every single week.
Oh, you do? You cut his hair?
Yes, it's too expensive to go to the barber.
You are kidding me.
But remember, they all have the same haircut. You just shave it.
Yeah.
Anybody could do that. Even I could do that.
Well, no, Eddie. I mean, he needs his top done right too.
Well, I can do.
I can do the one
a
on the
fade.
side.
I can do a fade. I can do
Oh.
a high and tight. I'm getting
Do you
good at
ever
that.
get mad at him one day and be like,
I actually. I wonder if he's going to hear this.
no, come on. Tell us.
One time I actually did. I do get irritated every time he says, "You want to cut my hair?" No, I don't want to cut your hair. I hate cutting
Did
your
you
hair.
give him like a mess up in the back?
I kind of shaved where I should. I just kind of.
Amy.
I was like, oh no. Sometimes I nick him too because I'll be in a hurry because I'm mad, and he's like, oh, I think I'm bleeding, and I'm, oh yeah, sorry.
I might be like, you know what? Now is not a good time for me to cut your hair.
Yeah, I've done that. I have refused to do it before, and then he gets irritated.
just
But
wondering-
it's $20 a week, so think about that. $80 a month that we're saving. So
Well, do you go to Starbucks every day? Or,
Nope.
No, okay.
remember,
Do you?
No, but I was just going to say.
remember,
you know,
you're
like-
talking to the financial person. I don't go to Starbucks every day. I try not to spend what I shouldn't. So I thought cutting his hair would be a way to save money. So. We do, but yeah, we go through clippers pretty fast when you're cutting the hair every single week. You have to get those professional grade hair cutters.
Yeah. The only thing I can imagine is if I cut Jim's hair, I have like this spouse fanny pack that like whenever he does, I just keep stuffing it in. And so, I'd be cutting it like, yeah, that was for last week. Oh yeah, 3 years ago.
I'm not going to say live on the air.
You need a vacation.
All spouses have a fanny pack that we just keep stuffing from our husbands, not wrongdoings, but you know what I mean, the things that they do to aggravate us.
Mine's that
You don't have
800-pound
that
gorilla.
fanny pack?
I've never heard this term, this fanny pack
Well,
thing.
that's just what I call it.
Oh, I like it though. It's a
spouse
cute
fanny
little.
pack. Yeah, and then one day
metaphor.
that fanny pack explodes.
I consider mine the 800-pound gorilla.
Can't stuff any more things in the fanny pack.
And like when you explode, that's not really the reason why you explode. It was like, oh yeah, you remember last year?
Yeah.
That's just females, right?
Wow, don't get on her bad side. She's
don't know.
got
I think-
co-host fanny packs.
I know, right? I think we should go over for dinner one night.
Oh, I'm just saying. I wonder if anybody makes
We'll be
them.
like, Shannon, fanny pack.
Stop it. Stop it.
You're overloaded. You're going to explode. Stop. You're busting at the
come on. You've
seams.
been married way longer than I have, so
I
I
have.
know. You probably had 2 fanny packs.
I may have more than 2.
Right. So
Yeah, I.
She's got them compartmentalized.
That's why I walk around like this a lot. I got all that weight on me.
No.
Well, if you were just tuning in, we are the BlueLine group with the BlueLine Wife's Rollcall podcast. We are live from LEPD Firearm and Range right here on Bethel Road in Columbus, Ohio. So, yay! So any more
Oh, yeah.
quirks. Anybody else have any? Because I have a ton, but I will wait.
Geez, we only have 30 minutes, Shannon.
I do have a ton.
So let me ask you guys this one, and it kind of goes along with the whole like, what do you tell somebody when they ask what they do, or like I'm always just looking at him like, how are you going to respond? How are you going to respond? And it gets really weird and awkward because like if I'm not responding and they're standing there, and what are you going to say? And I just get like, ooh.
What do you say when someone asks you and he's not there? Well, what's your husband do? We never see him. What do you say? Okay, that's it all.
I know, you got to think about who it is. But when people, it's so funny because when our friends introduce him, like, oh, hi, this is Eddie. He's a police officer.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
that's like his last name.
It's
Eddie,
like
police officer.
Everybody's proud to know him, and they're cringing. Well, my father-in-law, bless his heart, most wonderful man ever. He does the same thing every time he meets somebody. This is my son. He's a police officer. Dad, quit saying that.
Right.
Yeah.
And he means well, and he does it because he's so proud of them. But he does it to every single person he meets.
Yes.
And, my husband's like, I don't want people to know that's what I do. But you know what I say when someone says, where's your husband? We never see him. Or what's he do? I say he's in public service.
Well, I was
That's all
going
I
to
gotta
say, because people, he'll say I work for the city, so people automatically think he's in waste management.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
So-
that's a good job, too.
Just
So
say
he'll
he
be
doesn't
like,
work.
yeah.
Pretty much. Well, my husband doesn't have a job. He doesn't work.
Yeah.
Just end it right
He's
there.
unemployed.
Yeah. But actually, guys, too, there's another one that I think that all law enforcement kind of do. They call everybody by their last name.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So if I happen to call you, like, hey, Lewis.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Gilbert. Or hey, Ray. Just Gilbert here.
You know what's really surprising is I'm
Let's do
surprised
that.
that we
Let's
don't
do
do that. Aren't you guys surprised that we don't typically
Sometimes
do that?
I do. Like some of his friends, I don't call them by their first name. I call
Some of
them by
I-
their last name.
I don't know their first name.
Yeah.
And I've known them for 20 years, and I don't know their first name, or I have to second guess it because I've never talked to them in that capacity to where I've said, oh, hey Shannon, hey Jamie, I don't know their first names to talk to them like that, so I just know them by last name.
Same because that's how they're introduced. And in fact, when Jim and I first met, I actually did a ride along with a friend. So when people would ask me, they're like, hey, how'd you guys meet? I'm like, oh, I did a ride along with Carrie Mae. They're like, who? And I learned quickly that I had to quickly say, oh, I did a ride along with Aruko. Because I had to go by her last name.
Right.
Yeah. So they just call everybody by their last name. So
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Or sometimes those nicknames that they don't want to be known by.
Squelch.
Squelch.
Do your hubs, like, do they also have, like, huge group texts with their dudes, like, every day?
Well, yeah, so especially when the Browns play the Steelers.
And it's just
Go
meme,
Steelers.
meme. And, like, he'll be like, oh, that's bad. I can't even show you this one. This is a bad one. I'm like, oh, let me see
Yeah,
it.
if you really want to see it at that point, like, wait till you go to sleep, I'll be saying it. Yeah.
Yeah. Which brings up a really good point, too, because there is kind of a, I guess it's a quirk kind of, but like POs stay with POs. Like most of their friends.
Oh my gosh,
They're
yes,
not
yes.
really. They don't really go outside of that circle. I mean, it's hard to, even what we're talking about now, just kind of explaining what you do to somebody.
But not
Is it
only
hard?
that, I think from the perspective of nobody knows what these guys do day in and day out. This is their life. And whether we like it or not, or we understand it or not,
Right.
they live and breathe this life. And it never leaves them. Just talking to someone that was retired the other day, he still sits with his front to the door. He still's looking around him in open spaces.
Oh, yeah, that's a life.
It never leaves you. It actually is just inherent inside of you. So I think that that's what the attraction is that all these guys understand each other. And they know what they're going through mentally, too.
Right. In fact, when we go to see friends that are not law enforcement, I'm giving the lecture. Please talk to them. Please don't sit there and like with your arms crossed because he doesn't have much to talk about.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like there's nothing in common. So I'm always lecturing him. Like, please just say something.
Yeah.
Like, ask them about their work. Ask them about how their day, their whatever. Just don't stand, sit there with your arms crossed just because they're not a PO.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like your husbands have stone faces when they're out in public?
Oh, yeah.
Like people that are your friends and you go out with them and he just sits there like real stone faced and they kind of like
Always looks pissed off.
so-and-so's husband, they're like not very nice. Yeah.
That's just their
Yeah.
demeanor.
Well-
that's how they are. That's what the observant nature in them coming out too.
That brings up a good point, too. Like, their sense of humor is pretty, like...
It's weird.
Yeah, it's real weird, because you'll be like, oh my goodness, that's awful. And it's like crying, laughing. You know, just the sense of humor is a little bit different too. I mean, I think it's probably more or less like a protection.
Yeah,
you
Coping
know,
mechanism.
A coping
They
mechanism.
see so much, they
Yeah.
definitely just have to be hardened, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And
But-
stuff they think is so funny, like you said, it's not funny. You're like, oh, okay.
I think it's kind of a plus when my husband has developed that attitude because it makes him put up with me more.
Yeah.
We're the yin and the yang, right?
So this is a kind of a crazy one. Does anybody's husband talk sometimes like out of the side of their mouth?
No.
For an example, so I guess, you know, he's not as bad as he used to be, but I guess being on the radio, I guess, you know, like all those years on the street, he'd be like, say he was calling in a license plate or something, he'd be like, Roger, yeah. No, seriously, he talks inside his mouth. Yeah, he'd be like, Roger, Adam, Charles.
Oh, because they do that with their
2, 3, 4, 8. Yeah. So at home, sometimes he would be like, I would catch him like, so what are we having for, you know, what are we having for dinner? So listen, I'd be like, I don't know, sides. He would talk out of the side of his mouth.
Wait. I'm so gonna pay attention to this now.
Yes. You've never noticed?
You're just gonna be like, steak and potatoes.
No, get it sides. You know, you're like, so what are we having for dinner? And I just, you know, I don't know, honey. Let's have some sides. You know?
Oh, that's good. That's good. No, I've not.
He's getting better because he's obviously not utilizing, you know, being on the radio as much. It was bad. Every time he talked, it was just it would drive me bonkers.
I never heard that one.
I think it's a habit.
Oh, it must be.
Yeah, because you know, like and I'm wondering, I'm like, so like, do you think if you're cuffing your mouth, they can hear you better? Like, you know, whatever, you know. Adam, Charles, like, do you think they can hear you better by cuffing your lips?
I'm just laughing so hard because the way you're retelling this is golden.
Yeah, so
I'm crying a
you
little
guys
bit.
pay attention.
Okay, I'm
and hey,
going
if
to.
anybody else's husband out there sometimes talks with the side of their mouth, let us know.
If you're a side talker, hit up Shannon. She's got a lot to tell you.
That's so funny.
You know, I have something really, really weird, and I think maybe some of the moms out there with their younger kids are going to relate to this. The sleepovers. When your kid's invited to a sleepover.
Oh, we're not there yet. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so it's like pulling teeth. Do you think they could go? I don't know. Where's their house? Do they have a security system? You know, what are they like? Have we ever met their parents? Have you been inside their house? What's their neighborhood? You know, it's getting the 50 questions. Or when we invite someone to our house for a sleepover, have you met their parents? What do you know? They got a rap sheet?
Or do they question the child?
Yeah.
What did your dad do for a living?
Yeah. Is there going to be people there? I mean, it's like the 20 questions. So honestly, you got to the point where we just really didn't do sleepovers.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, I guess, to get rid of his stress level or lower it or something, but he just didn't want his kids going to other people's houses that he did not personally know well.
Right.
Did the girls protest this?
Yeah.
You know,
They don't have a choice.
one did, one really didn't. But of course, you guys know the personality difference in my kids. But but one
I'd say
did, one didn't.
the youngest one probably protested.
Well, you probably know her really well. So yeah, that's something that's been a struggle of, you know, you need to know their life story before you can allow your kid to go over there, and vice versa. Before we can invite anybody over, we had to know everything about them and make sure there weren't any like secrets or skeletons, because we didn't want the parent to come over and, you know, maybe it was a separated family and it wasn't amicable, and one parent would come and pick up and the other one was supposed to pick up, and how would we know unless we asked 20
So you don't
questions?
want no domestic one on it.
Yeah, because that's the way his mind thinks. You need to make sure that
Well, I can
he
tell you,
stands at the door with a gun. Really, no.
I
I'm
do
just kidding.
remember that. However, having my fourth child, now I'm begging Jimmy, like, anybody tell us we need to go do this the other night? Like, just somebody, do you want to call your grandma? Like, just
Your
somebody.
grandma.
You sure you don't want to go hang out with your grandma? Or like, sometimes you just need a break.
Girl, you're preaching to the choir on that.
Yes.
What about talking in police terms? Like, how many times today do you guys hear them?
What, codes?
Codes, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's all the time. But what's really awesome is that I know a lot of them because I helped him study for the
Yeah.
I used to quiz him for all the codes. And so, he'll come home and say, oh, I had a 4A or I had a, whatever. And I'll,
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, well, do the paper, you're good, whatever. Or it's like, ooh, wow, are you okay?
Yeah, you got to learn them too, because like Jim will ask me to get something at the store, and then he'll change his mind, like, oh, never code 4. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess that means just disregard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they think that we should know them as well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is second nature to
Yeah,
him.
you
But
do pick 'em up.
When,
Yeah.
when he does text me and say, quit being a 16B, then I kind of take it personally.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what
Then
did you just say?
Yeah, then I'm kind of like, oh, I wish I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah. Have you guys, how was it driving down memory lane? Do you guys ever drive maybe throughout their precinct, and how many times do you have to hear the same story? Like, hey babe, like right here, like I arrested this one guy.
Yeah, somebody shot himself in that bathtub.
Yeah, do you ever
in
hear,
that
like,
house.
No, I never.
Really?
Well, you probably don't
He's a
frequent
different-
the area.
He's a
but-
different.
Girl, I started catnapping when I ride with Jim now. I'm just like,
She checks out.
oh my God, I'm sleeping.
I've heard that.
Seriously.
Or the stories, the calls that they would. Remember that one time we had to jump the fence and so went over the other side, came down and shattered his elbow, and so got pinned by a car, and
And then
it's
it
like,
gets
I've
better.
heard it 8
They're
times.
so detailed. And he's like, yeah, and the guy jumped out. He was wearing, a blue shirt, blue jeans, running northbound. I'm like, I don't care which way he was running. Did you catch him? Like, get to the point, like, forget this 10-minute report you're trying to tell me.
northbound.
Yes, they are so detailed.
I love her storytelling.
Do you guys not feel like they're so detailed when
Yeah.
they're telling stories?
I mean, I
Is
can't.
Eddie not like that?
Not really.
Oh my, it drives me bonkers.
Yeah,
Like, Jim's so detailed.
Did you ever hear that story about, I forget what this poem is called, but it's like the something tree, where like you leave it outside on the tree before you come into the house? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, tell us a story.
So I'm just saying, that's like an actual poem.
Okay.
Like to help you to relate to leaving your work at work before you come in the door. He's really good at that.
Yeah.
Actually, when I did my ride along with him, it changed my life.
But you're still with him, so it must not have been that bad.
I asked him, like, I made the whole night, and we're leaving at 5 a.m. and I was like, hey, how long did it take you to like switch the gear from that to like normal life, like a couple miles away, and because that would have taken me years to get over just seeing and experiencing that. Like, and that's just your normal day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes I'll be like, oh, how was your day? Oh, no big deal, the dead body, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? Like, I'm here just like these papers and my computer, and I'm doing my thing, and when I go home and talk to you about my bad day, it's like it, anyway, the point is that it has to take a long time to get used to going from that life to your actual real life.
But sometimes, like Jim, he doesn't switch it off.
Well, yeah, mine husband is really good at that. I don't know what he did back in the day to
Right,
figure
so-
that out, but
But you knew him 10 years after he's had time to get used to that.
yes. So I always say, like, I'm lucky in that regard.
Well, Jim is on call 24/7, so I don't know if that's the reason why he brings it, because it's, like our life is wrapped around law enforcement.
I'm sure. He always has to be on.
And he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, talking on
Asking for some meat and potatoes.
Yeah. What about your personal cars? Do you guys ever find that, like, they drive your personal cars like a cruiser?
Well, let me tell you this. So I asked one of my girlfriends whose husband just graduated the academy in December. I was like, so what is the one thing that you've noticed so far that's different about him? And she's like, the way he drives.
He knows where he's going. He's on a mission, right?
She's like, he drives like crazy. She's like, I don't say anything, Because, he's obviously, she's getting used to all of it and letting him have his space to figure out what this identity means for him and stuff. But she said that's the one thing that she's noticed. But I remember one time, funny story, we were downtown, and he knew the area real well. And so here we are, and we go through this red light, and we go into this one way, and he backs it up and does a U-turn, and then he goes, oh, I'm not in the cruiser.
Oh, gosh, I forgot.
Like, he totally, just space.
So did he go the wrong way?
Oh, yeah. I was like, I hope you know everybody around here, because you just did a lot of bad things.
Right. Well, actually,
So-
Jim will probably kill me for telling this story. However, we had a Traverse. I don't remember the year. Like, let's just say it was 2010, because I don't remember. So we were down to our last payment to pay it off. It was like 4 years. I kid you not. And our engine blew.
Oh, no.
And it's because of he would drive our car, our personal vehicle, like it was his cruiser. Like, dude, you are not going on a 10-3 just to go home to go to the bathroom. Calm it down. I kid you not. Blew our engine in our car, 4 years old.
You probably went through 3 sets of brakes too, didn't you?
No, we didn't actually, but I had to get a brand new car. Yes.
Wow.
I know. And the person we buy our cars from always gets on him. Like, dude, you gotta stop driving your car like it's a cruiser.
Oh, yeah, you told me that.
Yeah, like, I mean, who blows an engine after 4 years?
Oh, do you get whiplash when you're riding with him?
No, girl, I buckle up and take the cat nap.
You get car sick?
I buckle up and take the cat nap.
Yes, heck no.
I did want to mention, we did have a response from a police wife on one of our pages. Jen says that they can only go to certain restaurants based on the number of employees that her husband has arrested that work there. He can only go certain places in his uniform, so he refuses to go, so obviously certain places. And then the kids will ask if he's arrested, like anyone, like, have you arrested them? Have you arrested them? Which is funny too, because I remember, like, I've been shoved in a door before, like, because they'll they don't want you to be seen with them or whatever.
Yeah,
They recognize them. So, I mean, that's true.
Oh, yeah, if they've arrested somebody and you're out somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just that look, you just know
Yeah.
it's time to go. We got to go, get up out of here.
Yeah,
How about when you have
get up outta
someone
here.
come do work on your house?
Oh,
Yeah.
that doesn't
You get
happen.
they must be licensed, they must be legal.
First of all, you need to get a certificate of
Wait a
insurance
minute,
from
I thought
them.
you did all
Yes.
that work.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl, you've been putting up like drywall and paint and
yeah,
stuff, right?
yeah. We had to do a lot of work to our house just
Yeah.
this past year. It's been crazy. But yeah, when people come in and you interview your contractors, you're like, okay, and you're all licensed, you're all bonded, right? And you're all legal, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of hesitate to say that, but you don't know what these workers
I
have
just
done.
call
and
on a
they're coming in your
firefighter
house.
friend. Seriously.
You what?
Call on a firefighter friend.
Oh.
Yeah, to come.
Pays to know people.
Yeah. Besides my pool guy. Did I ever tell you guys a story about the pool guy?
No.
Oh my gosh. So when we moved into our house, we have this pool. I'm excited. I'm like, I want to get me a pool guy.
I'm gonna get me a pool.
He's
Yeah.
gonna be cute. He's gonna be out there just sweeping, vacuuming up my pool. Oh my gosh. He comes, I kid you not, with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. He's like 68. And he comes like a hip replacement, poor guy. He's like, hey, I'm Larry. I'm here to fix your pool. And I'm like, you are not what I expected.
You are not Zac Efron.
I was thinking I was going to be doing my dishes out my window.
yes.
And I'll be looking, and then here he comes. Poor Larry. Like,
I've been doing my dishes.
yeah, like, there's nothing wrong with some eye candy.
Like some ramen potatoes.
Right.
Maybe I won't get a pool.
I'm just saying, the stereotype of, a pool guy, tan, muscular, sweeping the pool, it doesn't exist. I mean, maybe in California, but I can tell you in Columbus, Ohio, nah. But I can give you out Larry's number. He's good at this.
He's a great cleaner.
Yeah, he's good at. He does. I mean, if you don't mind the smoke.
Yeah.
He did. He coming to hang. Oh, and then he brought his bucket, set that bucket down, and sat down on there. Was like, let me tell you what you need to do. I'm like, this is not happening to me right now.
She sees Larry pulling up in his panel wagon,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Oh, time to go to the grocery store."
You sure you ain't got no younger relatives you can send next time?
Like, I got a sink full of dishes. Cody's gonna sit there now.
Like, my dishes are never done now. I'm just saying, I was hoping I'd get a cute one.
Well,
That's all.
one quirk that I think is actually really, I like, is that my husband, when we walk into a room, he can read somebody in the first 30 seconds
Oh, yeah.
of meeting them. So he knows, that's a good egg or that's a bad egg. You need to stay away from this person or that person, which actually really translates into my business too. So, so I really enjoy that quirk about him, that he's very, very good at reading and understanding people and their agendas. Because sometimes I'm horrible at it. I'll give everybody the benefit, and he'll be like, you need to pump the brakes, babe.
You don't have
Pump
to be
'em
nice
up.
to everybody. You don't have to invite everybody over for dinner.
Or
Right.
you don't have to pick everybody up in the cold and take them to their house either.
That's true.
Just kidding. But really quick, there was a Franklin County Sheriff's Office deputy who had commented on our Twitter page and said one of the things that she hates is when parents tell their children, if you don't behave, I'm going to call the police on you and they're going to come and arrest you.
yeah.
And she said because obviously it makes their job a lot harder when they go to their home to actually help them. They're then scared of law enforcement.
Well, not only that, but if a
Bad
child gets lost in a mall, You know, the parents have already ingrained in them, don't go to the cops because they might arrest you for doing something bad. We all know it's not true and they're not going to do that. But they're ingraining in their kids. Also, improper safety, issues that if you're lost, you should always seek an officer.
Right.
And
With their
now they're
first
making them
impression,
afraid
they're
of
not,
them.
they're not giving a very good first impression when they're saying they're going to come and arrest you, and how it is with
Yeah,
parents.
that's happened to my husband several times, and it just eats him up inside. And then, he actually will stop and talk in public. It happens to him where he's been out, let's say Red, White, and Boom, somewhere where there's a lot of people, and he's been out walking around, and someone said, if you don't straighten up that guy over there, see him, he's going to arrest you. And he's actually stopped and talked to him. And made it all better and said, we're not going to arrest you, but you do need to listen to your parents. They are your parents for a reason, and so forth. So that's something that kind of eats him up, and I think it's happened to probably almost everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, is there any other quirks that we had written in that we want to talk about?
I have tons, but I don't know if we have enough time, ladies.
I know. So we just want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us. And don't forget to come back next Thursday at 10 a.m. We'll be live again here at LEPD Firearms and Range on Bethel Road. And we will be discussing, or showcasing, I should say, businesses that support the BlueLine.
Absolutely. So if you'd like to have your business on display here, if you would like to have us showcase what you do or what you're about, please let us know. Contact us. We want to hear from you. Comment, message us on Facebook, or email us at bluelineGroupOfOhio@gmail.com. Any topic that you'd like to talk about or products that you'd like to showcase, let us know.
And it's Valentine's Day. So
Yes.
they definitely could, I guess, showcase a last-minute Valentine's gift for their loved one.
Yeah, if you're someone who makes homemade items, especially for Valentine's Day, you have something special.
I mean, we'll eat some cookies
know.
on Thursday, right? Wednesday cookies, right? We are live from LEPD Firearms and Range off of Bethel Road. And don't forget, if you're a live PD fan, you can get your shirts right here at the store or on their Etsy site. Follow their Facebook page to learn more. And I actually have a shirt on right now.
Sporting it. Show us.
Thank you again for tuning in. Until next time, we are your BlueLine group with your BlueLine Wife's Roll Call podcast. Yay!
Bye.
Thank you.